Good morning, it's Saturday, and it's time for another vlog. Good morning, it is 7 a.m. and I'm off to the gym. Today's a very, very busy day, so I hope that I can capture as much as I can, because I'm going to be running around too, and when I'm running around I don't really think of, oh, I should take the camera out and video it. So we have a vet appointment at 9:45 so the regular vet can check out the cat and see what's going on. I don't know, he seems like he's limping a little bit, not as much as he was. I would agree they should probably check, but it's up to the vet to decide if he needs x-rays and labs and all that crap. But whatever, we'll see. My goal is to try to get there before 9:45 to see if they can see us before. Although their office hours on Mondays are 9 to 1, so realistically 9:45 is early as it is. So we'll see. And the reason I'm saying that is because then I have to head off to City Field, because they're doing a pre-game event, a Q&A with players for ticket holders that do the season tickets and the half-season ticket plans. And so that starts at 12, but you can get there a little earlier and check in and have some donuts and coffee and crap. But you know, I don't care about that. I would just don't want to miss the event itself. So it's going to be very tight, because the last train that leaves here to Caucus is about 10:30. Now, historically, the Jersey Transit always runs late anyway, so most likely that 10:30 will be a little later, which I'm hoping for, because that'll give me a tiny bit more time. But I need to run over to the train station and catch that train so I can get to Penn Station by 11-ish, and then hop on the subway to get over there. So I don't know if I'll actually be there on time or not. And this is the only time they can give me for the cat, because otherwise I'd have to wait till Thursday and blah blah blah. So it was that or nothing. So I figured let's get that done and over with, and we'll see. So I'm up early. I was up at hour. I was up at 6. I was gonna get to the gym at 6, but then I remembered that on the weekends that my gym doesn't open till 7. So there was no sense in running out of the house at 6:30, because they wouldn't be open yet. Now they are open, and it's a Saturday, so it'll probably be dead, I hope. And I can get my hour routine in, and I should be home by 8:30 or so. And then I have time for a quick breakfast, and then we gotta stuff the cat in the box and take him to the vet, and then hopefully I can run home, then run to the train station, and hopefully not be late for the event. I forget, because they don't do too many of these for me, for half-season ticket holders. I know for season ticket holders they do a whole bunch of things, but I don't know if they just stop letting people in after 12 or not. But we'll see. I would doubt that they would, but who knows. Then tomorrow there's a game, but I'm actually not going to go to tomorrow's game, because they switched the pitcher. They had Syndergaard pitching, which is one of our newer prospects for pitching, and he's actually fun to watch, and he's different. But they inserted a 6-man into the lineup, and it's going to be a random 6 every so often. They're going to insert a pitcher just for the hell of it, which is ridiculous. But so they're going to do that. So usually I have the weekend plan of games, so it's all Friday, Saturday, Sunday games usually, that when they're here. But I was thinking of skipping Sunday before I knew Syndergaard was pitching, but then when I heard that he wasn't pitching and they inserted somebody else, I said, well, that made my decision much easier. Because I have some things to take care of on Sunday as well, and having that time to not have to run around to get to New York City is a plus in itself. Because for me to get to the game, the day games on Sundays are at 1. So for me to get there by 1, I gotta leave my house at 9:30, catch the 9:50 train over to New York, and then I get there uber early. I get there about 10:30, 11 ish. And then I watch the game, then I go home. So the whole day is killed. I can't do anything else that day. So if I can sell my tickets, which I just posted them today on StubHub, then I don't have to worry about it. If I don't sell them, I could always get them exchanged, but I would rather sell them because I've been doing a lot of exchanges lately. And that's really it. So it's going to be a long day. If I get there early enough, I'll have some video of the Q&A. I don't think I'll do all of it because it'll be too hard to tape it all, but I think I did a Q&A years ago. I may have a video up on my channel from maybe like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I think that one I did get most of it, but we'll see. Another nice perk about getting in early before everybody else is because they have a promo today, which is a replica jersey. So we automatically get that just for getting there early. And we're getting some sort of food vouchers, which my friend actually pointed out. I didn't even realize it. I thought it was one or the other, but then when I read it again, it says you get one for this, and one for this, and one for this, and you have little options in each bucket. So essentially you can get a hot dog, you can get a soda, and you can get a snack for free after the game. But you have to get it between a certain time after the game, after the event. Which is fine, because most likely it'll end about 1 o'clock, and then you still have time before the game actually starts, so you'll have time to kill. So that's kind of nice. And during the event, they have Dunkin' Donuts coffee and donuts and stuff and bagels, I think. I don't remember, but again, I don't think I'll get there that early to enjoy any of that. But it'll be nice to get the promo in advance, and it'll be nice to get vouchers for some food. And yeah, yay for running late. So I'm going to arrive about 10 minutes later than I'm supposed to arrive, hopefully. So the quick update while I wait for this train for 20 minutes is that the cat is limping a little bit, and the vet wants to do some x-rays and draw some blood. But I have to take him back on Monday for all that to happen, so we'll see. But she suspects a couple things, but we'll see. So now, unfortunately, I arrived about 10 minutes after the train left, so now I have to wait half an hour, so I'm going to be late, which I hate.
Hands here that you can't see, and guys go and work on their swing there. In fact, Daryl, since you've become, at least for the time being, really dependent upon to deliver
5th, 6th. Just depends on our starting pitcher's pitch count and the situation of the game. So I'm still kind of learning along the way of when to get loose and start swinging. But I usually 5th, 6th, 7th inning, I'm in the cage trying to get loose and get my swing going and ready to go.
So you're thinking the game too, right? You see how it develops, and you're starting to figure out, okay, I'm probably going to get a chance the way the lineup is set up to hit in the next inning. So is that when you recognize that it's time to get loose?
Yeah, you just got to kind of look at the game and how it's going, and when the pitcher spot's coming up. What pitcher's on the mound. Obviously, we have a couple left-handed bats off the bench and a couple right-handed bats. So just the way the game plays out, you kind of have an idea of when you're going to go in or your name might get called. But then again, you never know. It can also happen quick, so you got to do anything you can to stay ready.
You guys are all ready with questions, right? Where's the next one coming from?
My name is Mia Ponzo.
Baseball, the covers of baseballs. And that was definitely a weird one to sign.
I think I signed a banana or something once. That was definitely awkward.
It's tough to get a Sharpie to work on a banana.
I think on Kids Day in St. Lucie, I signed a kid's for it. That was awkward.
What about you, John?
Yeah, I've got an answer to that one. I don't get asked for that many autographs, but one time coming out of a spring training game, a little kid came up to me with a ball and said, "Could you sign?" I said, "No, you don't really mind." He said, "No, you're the assistant general manager, I want your signature." So I look on the ball and I sign it, and then I see there's another signature on it. I said, "Well, who else signed this?" He said, "John Travolta." So somewhere there's a ball out there with my name and John Travolta. I don't know what that kid's doing with that ball, but
You see it on eBay, that's going for a lot of money. Okay, who's next? Great album.
My name is Sedona, and what's your favorite food to eat before a game?
I don't like to eat a big heavy meal before the game. Just try and get something in my stomach so that it sits well. I'll go back to the peanut butter and jelly. It's always a safe choice. I still eat it up here. You can't forget your roots, never forget where you come from. So I eat a lot of peanut butter and banana sandwiches before the games.
I really like watermelon, especially when it's getting hot now in the summer. A little hummus and veggies, some chips, and that's usually my pregame meal.
I'm a big fan of the watermelon as well. Like the fruit, any type of fruit, pineapple, cantaloupe, whatever they got for us in them.
By the way, is there anyone who doesn't like sunflower seeds the way the dugout looks after a game? Sunflower seeds strewn all over the place?
I think that's just part of the game.
How about you, John? Anything in particular?
yeah, Shake Shack.
Shake Shack, right out there. Don't forget.
I can eat during the game, so I don't have to worry about it.
All right, we have a question down here.
My name is Marcus. I'm from the Bronx, and my question is to all of you. What's your favorite hobby?
When I'm not playing baseball, I like to golf. I spend a lot of my off season on the golf course, and it's a time for me to get away from the game, kind of get out there and have some fun, and it's just something I like to do in my free time.
Other than baseball, pretty much anything outdoors. I have a ranch back home with my family, so hunting, fishing, riding horses, just anything outdoors that I can go do, I enjoy it.
I live in California, so I like to paddleboard or paddle surf, anything on the paddleboard or being in the ocean.
Nice. John, what about you? You know, there's a lot of tension working in the front office, and even just based on the calendar recently, just a few days ago. Oh, now he wants the mic.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and answer this one. The funniest person I've ever played with or ever been around is sitting to the right of me, Daryl Siciliani. You probably won't get that just by talking to him right now, but being around him every day, you know, he definitely keeps the clubhouse loose and cracks a lot of jokes here and there, and he's just a funny guy.
Well, you got to defend that and back that up now. You got a routine, stand-up routine you can do?
No, it all just kind of comes to me at the spur of the moment. It's just being myself, really. Go ahead, Kevin.
We're not forgetting about you.
No, Moons, I mean, you're right up there alongside him. You have moments yourself. Maybe 5 minutes ago is a good example of that. So, we have a great clubhouse, and we all get along great. Everybody has great personalities, and it's hard to single out just one person, but everybody's got a really good sense of humor, so it makes it a lot of fun.
Do you think, John, you're the funniest guy that's come through here as a player in the years you've been an executive here?
You know, nobody comes to mind, but just listen to what they said. You asked me what I do. A big part of what we do is try to put together a team that gets along and is willing to fight for each other. The chemistry, you always hear about the chemistry of a ball club, and that's the most difficult part of our job, Sandy and myself, and trying to figure out how it all fits together. So I think that kind of gets lost sometimes, that you're really dealing with 25 individuals, and the sum has to be greater than the parts, the individual parts. And laughter is a big part of that. If they get along and they laugh because it's a long season, and you got to have these guys get through it, and laughter helps a lot.
I know it's just about the middle of June. Are all of you kids still in school, or is school out for a lot of you? Still in school. So then, all right, so you're not done with homework yet, right? You realize, do you think, if you graduated college today, do you think I'll never have to do homework again? Yeah, well, guess what? Everybody up here is going to tell you that that would be the wrong way to go. You just talked, John, about trying to get personalities that fit together in a big league clubhouse. How much homework goes into identifying a player who you think is going to be a proper fit off the field as well as on it? And what kind of things do you do to find someone who fits the image of what you're looking for?
Well, you know, we have a team of about 50 scouts who are all out scouting the amateur and the minor league and major league levels. And a big part of their job is to collect information about the people, not just the players. Because ultimately...
My name's Darius, and this is to Danny Muto. Is it hard switch hitting, and how do you do it?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. I actually hit all right-handed until I was about 12 years old, and then my dad said, you know, your swing's not good, very good right-handed, so let's just hit all left-handed. So hit all left-handed until about college, and then started switch hitting again. You know, it's tough. I mean, I try and go half and half on the swings every day, but I usually like taking more left-handed than right-handed.
So were you a natural right-handed hitter, and then you transitioned to left?
Yeah, I was natural righty, and then switched over to left-handed when I was 12 years old.
Now, most of the time, not everybody, of course, but a lot of switch hitters historically have been natural right-handed hitters who learned to switch hit for one or two pretty good reasons. Can any of you guess why a right-handed hitter would want to learn to hit left-handed as well? How about the fellow right up front here with the cap? Can we get the microphone to him? Why do you think a right-handed hitter would want to learn to switch hit?
So I can hit better.
Well, that's a big part of it, sure. Anybody else with other ideas? How about right down here? Pierre, you see the fella down here? He's pointing to himself, saying, I got it, I got this.
Because if you hit right-handed, you usually do better against left-handed pitching. There are more right-handed pitching, so a left-hander would do better, so you could hit both sides.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. Anybody else have any ideas about that before we go back to another question? Because there's one or two things I think you'd be interested to know. Who else has?
So you know if a pitcher pitches like too much in, then you could do a lefty, so it goes out farther.
All right, there's another idea. Why don't we move? I'll give you two things real quickly. Most switch hitters are usually pretty fast. They've got good speed, so they want to take advantage of that speed. And if you bat left-handed, you're actually a little bit closer to first base than a right-handed hitter is. So you can utilize that speed to your best advantage, take advantage of being a little bit closer to first base, and maybe beat out a few extra hits that way. Does that make sense? All right, so that wasn't the essay question we were looking for, but we have two more? We have time for two more, I'm told. All right? We have somebody with Pierre.
This is for everyone. What is your favorite memory in baseball?
Favorite memory for every one of you?
My favorite memory was probably back in college. We won the Big Ten championship. It was a big moment for our school, and with the group of guys we had there, it was a lot of fun. And minus my debut, that was also a great time, but another great moment for me was winning the Big Ten in college.
You know, my daughter just graduated from Indiana University. She says they didn't like Purdue very much. Is that right?
We don't like IU very much.
She works here, so we'll have to keep her away from you. How about you, Daryl? Or Danny? Or both?
Well, minus my debut was probably in college as well. You know, my freshman year in college, we won the College World Series, and we were the lowest seed to ever win the College World Series. Nobody was expecting us to win that year, which was a good moment. You know, nobody's expecting you to win, and then you come out of nowhere and end up winning the whole thing. It's a pretty special feeling. Fresno State.
My favorite baseball memory, probably, other than our debuts, you know, I had a walk-off home run in Brooklyn in 2010. That was probably the best feeling I ever had, and one of the best feelings on a baseball diamond that you can have, and I probably won't ever forget that.
Any of you ever seen the Cyclones play? You might have seen one of these players play for Brooklyn. That's a great way to spend the day too, right? You go to the boardwalk on Coney Island and go catch a game. And a few years later, some of those Brooklyn players will be up here. John, you go to Brooklyn a lot and see the players there, I guess. But when you talk about your favorite memory of your big league career,
And for all of you, do you want to be playing the position you are playing now?
Great question.
Yeah, and I think that's important. If I didn't want to be in the position I'm at, then I really don't know where I'd be at. I can't really play any other position, so I kind of limited things, but thankfully I'm good enough to be in the position that I'm at. And you know, growing up though, I did play just about every position, so I do encourage playing every position growing up until you kind of find that one position that you're best at, and then try and focus you know, all your time on that one. But you know, I didn't play catcher full time until I was in high school.
Kevin's being modest, so didn't you play a little bit of first base in the minor leagues?
Yeah, I have played a little bit of first base. I can play first base, but generally speaking, I mean, outfield, shortstop, third base, second base, those are off limits for me.
Daryl's got the outfield covered, right? But where else would you play?
Where else would I play? Oh man, I always joke about being a left-handed specialist. You know, I like to throw from down under sometimes and joke around with these guys. But I definitely couldn't do it. The mound's a little too close for me, and those guys hit the ball too hard, so that's why I stick to the outfield.
I'd probably be a catcher, if anything else.
Kevin's willing to help. John, if there was one other thing you could do in baseball, apart from being in the front office, what would it be?
I was going to say, if Sandy's not listening, GM, but he is.
All right. I think that wraps up our session here, but it's been great getting a chance to visit with you and see so many happy young faces. I mean, you're always happy when your team's in first place, but baseball's a great life, and it doesn't always involve just playing. So I hope you've enjoyed some of the stories, and that you'll enjoy yourself the rest of the day, and that you enjoy the game tonight. We've got a great pitching matchup. I say tonight, it's a 4 o'clock start. Two great young pitchers, Shelby Miller for Atlanta and Jacob deGrom for the Mets. So it's going to be a fun day. Thank you all, season ticket holders. You mean so much to this organization, and I'm so glad that you're being rewarded with, at this moment, a first place team, and hope that continues. So thanks for joining us today. Big round of applause for our players and for John, and have a great afternoon. Thanks.
This year, these guys are coming up with an expectation that you have to produce because we're depending on the game we're doing right now. I was talking with one of the veterans, John Reaver, recently. He was saying how when a team is good like this, when the expectations are set, players can elevate their
Jefferson Herrera. Batting eighth and line third base, number 16, Danny Nino. And batting ninth and pitching for your Newport Mets, number 48, Jacob.
Hi, so I'm back in Secaucus and we lost the game. We were losing at the beginning. The pitching was pretty good. Then we got the lead, and then we blew the lead in the 9th, and then we went into 11 innings total, and then we lost. Hooray! But that means the game didn't end till a little after 7. No, close to 8 actually. 7:45 or so. So Yeah, it's dark probably too, isn't it? So, yeah. All in all, though, again, it was a mad rush to get there. I got there about 12:10, so they had literally just started minutes ago. They had locked up all the gates and everything, but the security guys were there and they let me in, and it was alright. It was a decent time, but the players they had on the panel were AAA guys. I mean, except for Plawecki, who's been a while, a little bit. He's been around longer than the other two have, but they all came from Las Vegas, so I don't know, you know, they didn't have anybody else. But, you know, what can you do? I mean, half the team's out on the injury list, so it's like, who are you going to get? I mean, you know, there's only a couple of people you could have probably gotten, and they all probably didn't want to do it. So, you know, it's what you got. And it was a kid's question and answer, so it was interesting because the kids don't even know these AAA guys to begin with, but whatever. It was still a decent time. They gave us vouchers for hot dog, pretzel, and a soda, so that was nice. And they gave us 30% off in the store for an hour after the event was done, so that was kind of cool too. So I picked up this hat with the Mr. Met logo on it because I like these hats. These are like a new design hat that they have, where it's like a mesh. It's very breathable. It's almost like, I want to say it's like a knockoff of an Under Armour kind of hat, but they're really, really breathable and comfy to wear, and they're not very heavy and stuff. Like the others I have are a little like the standard hats, you know, that I usually wear. They're all wool and cotton and stuff, and they're very hot. So if it's a really hot day, it's not the best hat to wear. But if you're like sitting in the direct sun or whatever, you probably want to wear a hat like that so you don't get a headache or anything. But these are actually pretty nice. So I got me one of these because I had 30% off. And I picked up a few other t-shirts because, again, 30% is pretty decent. That means I get a t-shirt for like $20, which is not a bad deal. Especially being from the concession, from the actual location, you know. And they're hard to find online, at least for some of the players. So, you know, but I think I'm done with t-shirts, I think, unless they do something else with players, and then I may like some other player. They didn't have any more Syndergaard. I would have gotten another Syndergaard shirt because I like him, but they didn't have any. They didn't have any at all. I didn't see any. But I picked up some Dudas and Lagares. I don't have any Lagares, so that's what I got. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the clips of the Q&A and some of the baseball game. And if you did, don't forget to like and share and comment. And we'll see you when I see you.